Hello, this is Brian Resney, President of Resney Wealth Management, bringing you an important update about the economy and the investment markets. Well, we are firmly into the second quarter of 2017. Generally speaking, unemployment numbers look good. GDP growth is slow, but looks like it's starting to build as we get into this second quarter. And we look for really full year 2017, somewhere around 2.5% GDP growth. A number of the President Trump agenda items are looking to get passed this year, and I firmly believe many will. Of course, tax reform is a big one to help boost the economy. Deregulation has really been quickly taken apart. And what we're seeing by our President Trump is simple. He's getting rid of needless regulations and really trying to hone back the overburdened regulation on most companies in the U.S., making us more competitive. Tax reform is going to be another factor of that. And of course, we have the repeal and replacement of Obamacare, which is greatly needed. I have a lot of clients that will ask me, Brian, what do you really think is going to happen the next 3 to 4 years of his presidency? And I will tell you that if you look generally speaking, what drives the U.S. economy and what makes us not only safer and more prosperous is a lot of common sense. And for some reason, the last couple presidents didn't maybe quite have that common sense approach that our President Trump does. I firmly believe if you do all the things that our new president wants to do, and even if not all of them get passed, mind you, but a good percentage of them do, I firmly believe our economy the next 3 to 4 years will be quite prosperous. And that really sets our president up for a second term, and we can really have a long-term growth spurt in the U.S. economy. Our economy is the greatest economy in the world. The problem is a lot of the rules and regulations that were put in play, like global trade, and really tied us back and really helped prop up other countries around the world at the detriment to the U.S. worker and all U.S. taxpayers, by the way. By getting rid of these burdens, we should do much, much better. The other question that's come up is what do I think about, obviously, the Clean Air Bill and Act through the Paris Agreement, and that being repealed, which I think is excellent. And again, one of the problems that most voters, and again, most voters never read the detail. So whether you're a left voter or a right voter, I will tell you that a lot of the information that people make decisions on, they really haven't read the details. This whole Paris Clean Energy Agreement really hurt the U.S. and the U.S. people, U.S. taxpayers greatly. Most of the biggest polluters in the world had to do nothing for 13 years but keep polluting, while we had to do even more clean energy initiatives. And just so you have an understanding, we are one of the countries in the world that have some of the cleanest air and the best policies currently, meaning we're light years ahead of most countries. So whether you're left or right, the big key is read the facts. A lot of this stuff you can pull up by doing a Google search. I haven't read everything in detail, but I do read a lot of this information, and I will tell you, if you really read into it and you understand it to some extent, you will realize that most of the deals that our government officials, whether it's the left or the right, for decades and decades, have really hurt the U.S. economy and your wealth and all U.S. taxpayers. We are getting back on solid ground, in my opinion. I like what we see. We currently see no signs of recession. And as you probably noticed yesterday, we did make some global allocation changes, primarily some of the markets, not only in the emerging market exposure increase, including bond exposure, but also on the European front. We're starting to see some signs of change. And I like what I see. I feel we could have potentially a longer-term trade there, but we did make some adjustments, and we're looking for areas not only that I have some cheaper areas of buying power, but also areas that have much higher dividend stream than some of the other overextended growth areas that we feel in the U.S. marketplace. So make sure you do check yourself online or on your statement at the end of the month. And as always, if you have questions about your portfolio, please give us a call at the office. And remember, we always appreciate your business and we always appreciate your referrals. If you have friends or family members or business acquaintances that are not happy with the advice they're receiving, again, we always appreciate your business and referrals. Have a safe and profitable week.